In the spring of 1918, when the air of New Orleans hung thick with river mist and the distant sound of jazz drifted through narrow streets, something else began to move between the shadows. It did not walk boldly under the gas lamps, nor did it hurry through the crowded markets of the French Quarter. Instead, it waited, silent and patient, behind shuttered windows and locked doors. The first family never heard him approach. They had gone to sleep as usual. The scent of fresh bread lingering in the kitchen, the husband's razor resting neatly beside the wash basin, the house wrapped in the soft hum of summer insects. Sometime after midnight, the back door was pried open with careful hands, and a figure slipped inside like a draught of cold air. He did not bring his own weapon, for he preferred the intimacy of using what belonged to his victims. An axe was taken from the woodshed, heavy and worn from years of splitting firewood, and it became an instrument of horror. The attack was sudden and merciless, the sound of splintering bones swallowed by the thunder of a passing streetcar. By dawn, neighbors would gather in shock, whispering prayers and crossing themselves as police officers tried to piece together the scene. There were no valuables missing, no clear motive, only blood and confusion. The newspapers gave him a name that would cling like a curse to the city. The Axeman. Fear spread faster than the humid breeze off the Mississippi. Doors were reinforced, windows barred, families slept in shifts, clutching firearms and rosaries. Yet the killer seemed to move through walls, striking without pattern, leaving no witnesses who could clearly describe him. Some claimed he was tall and broad, others swore he was slight and nimble, slipping through cracks like smoke. All agreed on one thing: he was relentless, and somewhere in the labyrinth of New Orleans, he was listening to the rising chorus of fear. Months passed, and the killings continued, each one carving deeper wounds into the heart of the city. Italian grocers and their families seemed particularly targeted, stirring rumors of vendettas and secret societies. But the police found no evidence of gang rivalry, no sign of robbery or revenge. Then, on a March morning in 1919, the newspapers received a letter. It was addressed not to the police chief, nor to the mayor, but to the people of New Orleans themselves. The writer claimed to be the Axeman, he wrote with chilling confidence, boasting that he was not human but a demon from the hottest hell, sent to claim souls. He promised that on a specific Tuesday night, he would kill again, but he offered a twisted mercy. Any home playing jazz music after midnight would be spared. The city trembled. Some dismissed the letter as a cruel hoax. Yet, as night fell on the appointed Tuesday, something extraordinary happened. Music erupted from every corner of the city. Bands played in dance halls, phonographs spun in kitchens, trumpets wailed from balconies. Jazz flooded the humid air, defiant and desperate. Families gathered together, instruments in trembling hands, determined to drown out the silence that had invited death before. That night, no murders were reported. Was it coincidence? Or had the Axeman truly listened? The legend grew, twisting into something larger than a man. Children were warned that if they misbehaved, the Axeman would come. Priests spoke of evil prowling the streets, and somewhere, hidden in the darkness, the killer waited, perhaps smiling at the orchestra of fear he had conducted. The reprieve did not last. Soon, more homes were broken into, more families left shattered. Each crime scene bore the same terrible signature. An axe taken from the property, a panel of the back door chiseled away to gain entry. Investigators chased countless leads, arresting, Suspects who were later released for lack of evidence. One man was shot by police after allegedly attacking a woman. Yet even his capture did not end the killings. The public grew restless, accusing authorities of incompetence. Rumors spread that the Axeman was protected by powerful friends, or that he was a shapeshifter who could change his face at will. Some claimed he had glowing eyes that burned in the dark. Others insisted he moved with supernatural silence. The truth was far more terrifying. No one knew. In the dim alleyways of New Orleans, every shadow seemed to stretch longer. Every creak of wood sounded like the lift of an axe. Men slept with rifles beside their beds. Women kept lamps burning through the night. Yet the killer always found a way. He struck swiftly, vanished completely, leaving behind only grief and unanswered questions. The newspapers sensationalized each attack, printing lurid headlines that both informed and inflamed. The Axeman was no longer just a murderer. He was a phantom haunting the soul of the Crescent City. Asterisk then, as suddenly as he had appeared, the killings stopped. By late 1919, the Axeman seemed to vanish into thin air. No dramatic arrest was made. No confession delivered. He simply faded, leaving behind a trail of broken families and sleepless nights. Speculation flourished for decades. Some believed he had died. Others thought he'd moved on to another city under a new name. A few insisted he had never been caught because he had never truly existed as a single man. Perhaps he was a symbol of a darker time, when war and disease already gripped the nation, and fear needed a face. Yet the records remain. The police reports stained with history, the yellowed newspapers still bearing his taunt. In quiet neighborhoods of New Orleans, old houses stand with stories buried in their walls. On humid nights, when jazz drifts through open windows and the wind rattles a loose shutter, some residents still feel a chill. They double-check their locks, glance toward the backyard shed, and listen carefully to the rhythm of distant music, because legends do not die easily. And somewhere in the echoes of 1918 and 1919, the Axeman's footsteps may still linger, just beyond the reach of the light.